Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Friday writing and reading class for August 16th, 2019. We're going to go ahead and get started with the class. Go ahead and give me a 1 in the chat room just to let me know that you can hear me okay. Great. Hope you all had a wonderful week. And I know for some of you, maybe you're headed back to school either this week or coming up soon. So best of luck this year with all of your studies. Let's go ahead and start off with our quote of the day. And Emily, can I have you read our quote of the day?
Be less curious about people and more curious about ideas.
Excellent. And that's by Marie Curie. So let's reflect on this for a second. Be less curious about people and more curious about ideas. What do you think she means by this statement? Why does she feel it's so important? Raise your hand if you have an idea what she means by this statement. Emily?
I think she means about being less curious about people is to not not think of other people that much, but be more curious when she's ideas like homework or something.
And why does she think that ideas are more important than the curiosity of people?
Probably she doesn't think that she likes to think about herself and not about other people.
Okay. All right. Let's see if Hannah wants to add something to that too. Hannah?
It's like if we focus on one thing, we can do things better.
If we focus on ideas?
Like if we focus on one thing, maybe we can do that thing better than focusing on other things that we're not doing.
Okay, yeah. That's closer to like the lines of what she's talking about. So so what she's talking about is oftentimes we can be bogged down by the thoughts or maybe the negative thoughts of other people or what people think about us or you know what someone said about someone else, and they don't actually progress our knowledge. They don't progress our growth. So here what she talks about is actually spending more of your time focusing on developing new ways of doing things and growing yourself through knowledge, because in the end that's more valuable than caring about gossip or what someone said about someone else. So her focus is really trying to maximize your opportunity to grow by learning. And I think this is kind of appropriate as we all are getting ready to focus back into our studies for a new school year. Now, does anyone know who Marie Curie is? Raise your hand if you've heard of her before. Lucy, you've heard of her? Who is Marie Curie?
She is a woman. I believe she is French, and she won a Nobel Prize.
Do you remember what she won the Nobel Prize in?
Pardon?
What's that?
Pardon?
Oh, do you know what she won the Nobel Prize in? Do you know what she won it for? What was that?
Oh, you mean what she won it for?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but it's something related to science.
Yes, very good. Yeah. So let's learn a little bit more about her and find out why this woman was so famous, how she became so famous. All right, to get us started, let's go ahead and have Victoria, can you read our first paragraph?
What?
Can you read our first paragraph?
Marie Curie was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize in physics, and with her later win in chemistry, she became the first person to claim Nobel honors twice. Marie Sklodowska, later known as Marie Curie, was born on November 7, 1867 in Warsaw, Poland. As a child, Curie took after her father. She was bright and curious mind and excelled at school.
Great, thank you, Victoria. All right, Shelley, let's have you read our next two paragraphs, actually.
Despite being a top student in her secondary school, Curie could not attend the men's-only University of Warsaw. She instead continued her education in Warsaw's floating university, a set of underground informal classes held in secret.
Okay, actually, I'll go ahead and have you stop there, Shelley. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's look at a couple of these words. If someone excels at something, it says that she had a bright, curious mind and excelled at school. What does that mean? Hannah?
Be better at, like, be good at.
Yeah, she did very good in school, exactly. Now, can anyone tell me what secondary school is? What's considered to be secondary school? If you think of primary school as maybe being the first time you go to school, what do you think secondary would be? Emily?
I think it means like her second school.
Yeah, so oftentimes when we think of a secondary school, it's somewhere between the ages of 6 to 11 that make up a secondary education. So if you start like from kindergarten all the way through 5th grade, and then maybe from 6th or 7th grade, then you move into your secondary schooling. Okay, continuing on, Lucy, can you read our third paragraph?
Both Curie and her sister Bronya dreamed of going abroad to earn an official degree, but they lacked the financial resources to pay for more schooling. Undeterred, Mary worked out a deal with her sister. She could work to support Bronya while she was in school, and Bronya would return the favor after she completed her studies.
Excellent, thank you, Lucy. So undeterred, it said, undeterred, Maria worked out a deal. What does that mean, undeterred? Hannah?
It means unstoppable, like nobody can stop her.
Yeah, exactly. She's not listening to other people's opinion about what she's doing. She's just going to keep doing exactly what she's doing. Very good. All right, Johnson, let's have you read our first paragraph on the second page.
Okay. For roughly 5 years, Mary worked as a tutor and a governess. She used her spare time to study, reading about physics, chemistry, and math. In 1891, Mary finally made her way to Paris and enrolled at Sorbonne. She threw herself into her studies. But then, this dedication has a personal cost. With little money, Curie survived on buttered bread and tea, and her health sometimes suffered because of her poor diet.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, Jennifer, let's have you read our second paragraph.
Curie completed her master's degree in physics in 1893 and earned another degree in mathematics. The following year, Mary married French physicist Pierre Curly. In July 26, 1895, they were introduced by a college of Mary's after she graduated from Sorbonne University. Mary had received a commission to perform a study on different types of steel, and their magnetic properties needed a lab for her work.
Excellent. All right, let's take a look at a couple of words that are in yellow here. It said that Mary worked as a tutor and a governess for 5 years. What is a governess? Hannah?
It is a kind of teacher.
Say that again?
Wait, is it a kind of teacher?
Yeah. A governess is someone that takes care of children. That they can also be a teacher, but one of their rules is just to make sure that they help the kid or the child grow up. Very good. Now, in the second paragraph, there's a sentence that she received a commission. Mary received a commission to perform a study. What is a commission? Anyone know what a commission is? Hannah?
I'm not sure, but it's like a group of people given the job to control other people.
Yeah, exactly. They're giving her an assignment. And oftentimes a commission comes with some sort of pay, but they usually like her idea or her theory, and they say, okay, we'll give you money and we want you to work on this. And so that's what happened there. All right, Hannah, let's have you read our our third and fourth paragraph. They're both kind of short. All right.
A romance developed between the brilliant pair. They became a scientific romantic duo who were completely devoted to one another. At first, Mary and Peavy worked on a separate project, but after Mary discovered radioactivity, Pierre was set his own work to help her with her research. Mary suffered a tremendous loss in 1906 when Pierre was killed in Paris after accidentally stepping in front of a horse-drawn wagon. Despite her tremendous grief, she took over his teaching post at the Sorbonne, becoming the instruction's first female professor in 1911.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think we got a tail end of that. Okay, very good. Now, unfortunately, the person that she was in love with died, and she experienced tremendous grief. What does the word grief mean? Emily?
I think it means like sad or something.
Yeah, it means that she was very, very sad. So it was like a pain that she felt inside for. And usually if there's grief, it lasts for a while. Very good. All right, Emily, let's have you read our first paragraph.
Okay. Mary Curie discovered radioactive activity, and together with her husband paired the radioactive elements polonium and radium while working with the mineral pitchblende. She also championed the development of X-rays after Pierre's death. Fascinated with the work of Henri Becquerel, a French physicist who discovered that uranium casts off rays weaker than the X-rays found by Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen. Curry took his work a few steps further.
Excellent. Okay, if someone champions something, what are they doing? Says she also championed the development of X-rays. Emily?
Is it like found out?
Not quite. Anyone else? Hannah, you want to take a guess?
Does it mean handled?
Yeah, exactly. That she was in charge of it. She was the one that everyone looked to for the answers. Okay, Victoria, let's have you read our second paragraph.
Curie conducted her own experiments on uranium rays and discovered that they remain constant no matter the condition or form of the uranium. The rays she theorized came from the element atomic structure. The revolutionary idea to create the atomic physics. Curie herself coined the word radioactivity to describe the phenomena. Following Mary's discovery on radioactivity, she continued her research with her.
Okay, thank you. Sounds like you've got a dog in the background there.
Yeah, a really big one.
All right. Okay, let's take a look at a couple words. The word theorized. It says that she theorized about X-rays. What does it mean to theorize something? Lucy?
It means that she stated.
Yeah, kind of. You know, she was one of the first people to create the idea. It had never been thought of before, and she's the first one to tell people that, hey, I have this idea. This is what I think it is. Now, this is kind of a unique word. She says Curie herself coined the phrase radioactivity to describe the phenomena. What is a phenomena? Hannah?
Is it the is it a kind of track?
A track?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if track's the right word. Phenomena means sort of like a a situation. So something that happens. So if something happens, that could be a phenomena. Sometimes, often, the phenomena is something unique or something special that happens in life, and that we can refer to it as a phenomena. Okay, going on to our third paragraph. Let's have, let's see, I don't think I've had Grace. Grace, would you like to read our third paragraph?
Sure. Working with the mineral pitch blende, the pair discovered a new radioactive element in 1898. They named the element polonium after Mary's native country of Poland. They also detected the presence of another radioactive mineral in the pitch blende, and called it the radium. In 1902, the Curie announced that they had produced a decigram of pure radium, demonstrating its existence as a unique chemical element.
Very good. Go ahead and repeat a couple words for me. Decigram.
Decigram.
And demonstrating.
Demonstrating.
Excellent. Okay, let's continue reading on our last page. And then let's have, I think, Shelley, let's have you read our first paragraph.
When World War broke out in 1914, Curie devoted her time and resources to helping the cause. She championed the use of portable X-ray machines in the field, and these medical vehicles earned the nickname Little Curies.
Very good. And then let's have Lucy read our second paragraph.
After the war, Curie used her celebrity to advance her research. She traveled to the United States twice, in 1921 and in 1929, to raise funds to buy radium and to establish a radium research institute in Warsaw.
Excellent. Go ahead and repeat in 1921.
1921.
Excellent. So when just stating the year, you don't have to add first or you can just say the number. Johnson, let's have you read our third paragraph.
Okay. Curie died on July 4th, 1934, of
Aplastic.
aplastic anemia, believed to caused by prolonged exposure to radiation. She was known to carry test tubes of radium around in the pocket of her lab coat. Her many years working with radioactive materials took a toll on her health.
Very good. And then finally, let's have Jennifer, can you wrap up our last paragraph?
Curie made many breakthroughs in her lifetime, remembered as leading figure in science and a role model of women. She has received numerous posthumous honors, several educational and research institutions and medical centers bear the Curie name, including the Curie Institute and Paris and Marie Curie University, UPMC.
Excellent. So posthumous honors. It says that she received posthumous honors. What does posthumous mean? Hannah?
After you died.
Yeah, after you're dead, you're still receiving honors for the work that you did. Very good. So you see that this woman really spent a lot of her time very focused on new ideas. And as she said in her statement, she didn't have time to focus on what was happening with other people because she knew that with education, she was going to be able to accomplish new heights in science, which she was very passionate about. All right, so we're going to reflect a little bit on the writing that we just did. I'm going to leave this vocabulary list of some of the words that we discussed, and I want you to see if you can incorporate one or two of them into your writing. But let's take a look at our 3 questions we're going to have answered. Grace, can you read our questions for us?
Why was it challenging for Curie to get formal education? How did Curie help war efforts? What is ironic about Curie's death?
Very good. So what is ironic about Curie's death? Now let me explain the word ironic for a second. Ironic means that it's kind of funny in a way. It's kind of unique in a way, but there is something unique around her death that I wanted you to see if you can remember. All right, so we're going to take the next 10 minutes. We're going to come back around 35 after, and I want you to see if you can answer as many of the questions as possible. Then once you have your answers completed, you can submit them to the chat room. Right now, and then we'll take a look at a couple people's writing. Right now, I'm going to copy the questions into the chat so that you can refer to the questions if you need them. And I'll leave the writing or the vocabulary up for you. Okay, feel free to go ahead and submit some of your other writings, but we're going to take a look at the 3 people that submitted theirs the earliest. So let's start off with Hannah. Can you read yours for us?
It was difficult for Carrie to get a formal education because she went to Paris without a lot, was not allowed of money.
I think, okay, without a lot of money, okay.
She doesn't have money to eat healthy. Carrie helped the world by studying about X-rays and cast them around the field, I guess. Carrie's death was ironic because she died because she always carried materials with her, which can affect her health after working for so long.
Okay, very good. So Hannah, let's take a look at some of your verb choice. One of the things you want to be careful of is that if you're starting a sentence in past tense, you want to continue the sentence in past tense. So I'm going to look at your first and your second sentence. You said it was difficult, so you're in the past tense right here, and then you're still talking about the same situation for her. Can you fix the second sentence to make it work?
She didn't.
She didn't, that's right. So even if it's 2 separate sentences, if you're still talking about the same subject, you want to keep the same tense. Now let's go down to the last sentence. Curry's death was ironic because she died because she always carried materials. So here we have the same issue. Can you fix the error?
Materials.
What's that?
She carried materials.
Carried materials with her, which can affect her health. So can is also in present tense. What would be a better word?
Could.
Could. Very good. One other thing that I'm going to suggest doing is that you use because twice. You said Curry's death is ironic because she died, because it's a little too much because. Can you think of another word to replace that?
Since.
What's that?
Since.
Since? Yes. Since she always carried materials with her. Very good. Okay, Emily, let's take a look at your writing. Would you like to read it for us?
Sure. It was challenging for Curry to get a formal education because her family didn't have a lot of money. Curry helped the war efforts by helping the wounded soldiers. Her death was ironic because it was posthumous.
Okay, great. Now, I'm not sure if we use the word posthumous in the correct sense. So posthumous would be talking about something that happened after her death. So in this case, posthumous is not a word that we would want to use. What did you mean by using the word posthumous?
After she died, a lot of people awarded her prizes.
So maybe you would want to say something, her death was ironic because after she died, what did you say she received?
She received awards and stuff.
Okay, so maybe If we use the word many posthumous awards?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Good, excellent. Okay, and then Lucy, let's have you read yours for us.
It was challenging for Curie to get formal education because she was a woman. In the back days, it was hard for women to go to school because of the discrimination on gender. Even though some women excelled at school, Curie helped with the work because her distributions can be used to help the patients. Something about Curie's death that is ironic is people believed that she was dead for the research she put great effort to.
Okay, very good. Okay, so let's look at a couple of things here, Lucy. The first part of your sentences are really nice. I'm going to make just a couple of suggestions. You talk about it was hard for women to go to school because of the discrimination on gender. I'm going to change this around to a common phrase that you hear people say. They call it gender discrimination. So it's hard for her to go to school because of gender discrimination. And that's actually how you'll see it a lot of times written when we're talking about that concept. And this sentence right here, even though some women excelled in school, isn't quite a complete sentence. So I would probably combine it with a sentence. Do you think we should combine it with the sentence before or the sentence after?
After?
Well, not quite. Actually, we would want to combine this with the sentence before, and by just adding a comma. So that sentence was a good sentence, but we just need to make sure it's actually a complete sentence, and that way we just combine it with a comma from the previous sentence. Now, we had a similar situation in your last paragraph here, where the tenses change. We start in past tense, and then we go to a different tense. So Curie helped with the war because her distributions can be used. Can you make the error there? Or can you correct the error?
Could be used?
Could, exactly. Could be used to help the patients. And finally, something about Curie's death that is ironic is people believed that she was dead for her research. I wasn't quite sure what you meant by the last sentence. What did you mean by the last sentence?
I'm trying to say that because X-ray is a research that she put a lot of time and effort to, but she was dead for that. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. Because she, so in this case, maybe we want to say because she died from her research, from the research she, the research, oops, sorry, the research that she put great effort. Great effort, and then we would just want to say into. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Great, excellent. And that was, yep, very good. And so so some of you hit on this quite well with what was so ironic is that, you know, it was her research that actually killed her. It was the mercury that actually killed her all of this time. That was the kind of the ironic thing about that. So very good, everyone, and well written throughout. Thank you, Victoria, for also submitting yours. But we're going to go ahead and take our break now. So we'll come back in 10 minutes at 54 after and resume the rest of class. All right, everyone, welcome back. We're going to go ahead and get started with our second half of class. We're going to go ahead and actually start off with the reading assignment. We may get back to the little grammar exercise that I had for you, but I want to try to get a little bit more writing in for today. So as we were discovering, Marie Curie was very influential in helping discover radium and to work with X-rays. And today's technology of X-rays is used for a variety of different things, more than you may actually know. So we're going to learn a little bit more about X-rays. And so to get us started, Emily, can you read our first paragraph?
X-rays are types of electromagnetic radiation, probably most well known for their ability to see through a person's skin and reveal images of the bones beneath it. Advances in technology have led to more powerful and focused X-ray technology, as well as ever greater applications of these light waves, from imagining teensy biological cells and structural components of materials like cement to killing cancer cells.
Excellent. Grace, let's have you read our second paragraph.
X-rays are roughly classified into soft X-rays and hard X-rays. Soft X-rays have relatively short wavelength of about 10 nanometers. A nanometer is 1/1000th of a meter, and so they fall into the range of a electromagnetic spectrum between ultraviolet light and gamma rays. Hard X-rays have wavelength of about 100 picometers. A picometer is 1/10000000th of a meter.
Good work with those words. Excellent. So they talk about here that an X-ray beam, as well as ever greater applications of these light waves. What do you think they mean by the word applications? There's advances in technology, and this is from the first paragraph. Advances in technology have led to more powerful and focused X-ray beams, as well as even greater applications. Any idea applications? So basically they mean just different ways. Greater ways are other uses as well. Now, I'm curious if you've heard the word teensy. If something is teensy, it has to do with size. Emily?
Does it mean like tiny?
Yeah, exactly. Very, very small, very tiny. Excellent. All right, Hannah, let's have you read our third paragraph.
These electromagnetic waves occupy the same region of the EM spectrum as gamma rays. The only difference between them is their source. X-rays are produced by electrorating electrons, which gamma rays are produced by magnetic something in one of four nuclear reactions.
Not bad. Let's try a couple of the words there. Accelerating.
Accelerating.
And electrons.
Electrons.
And atomic nuclei.
Atomic nuclei.
Yes, lots of scientific words in there. Now, is anyone familiar with the word accelerating? They talk about accelerating electrons. If something is accelerating, what's happening to it? So a car might accelerate. What's happening to the car if a car accelerates? So this is a word for getting faster or going faster. We always talked, if you when you all are old enough to drive a car, you're gonna push on the accelerator and that's gonna make your car go faster. And that's accelerating. Okay, going on to our second page. Jennifer, can I have you read our first paragraph?
X-ray was discovered in 1895 by Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen, a professor at Würzburg University in Germany. According to the non-destructive resource center's history of radiography, Röntgen noticed crystals near a high-voltage hood ray tube exhibiting a fluorescence glow even when he shielded them with dark paper.
Very good. So if I were going to shield something, what am I doing to it? Shield. It says he shielded it with dark paper. Hannah?
Like protected?
Yeah, like hiding. Hiding is a good word for it. Good. All right, Johnson, let's have you read our second paragraph. Johnson?
Some form of energy was being produced by the tube that was penetrating the paper and causing the crystal to glow. What's that word?
Röntgen.
Röntgen called the unknown energy X radiation. The experiment showed that this radiation could penetrate soft tissues but not bone, and would produce shadow images or photographic plates. For this discovery, Röntgen was awarded the very first Nobel Prize in Physics in 1901.
Very good. All right, let's have Lucy read our first paragraph on the third page.
Broken bones. Today, X-rays are an integral part of contemporary hospitals and medical centers. This is their most common application, with doctors using machines to take photographs of a patient's body. Photographic film is placed behind the body. When the X-ray then turned on, the rays easily pass through the skin, but take a little longer to travel through the bone. This is why bones appear much lighter in color. Using the result, doctors can develop effective treatment plans.
Excellent. Thank you, Lucy. And Shelley, our second paragraph.
Radiation therapy. X-rays play an important role in the fight against cancer, with high-energy radiation used to kill cancer cells and shrink tumors. Patients undergo treatment outside the body, known as external beam radiation therapy, or from radioactive material that's inserted into the body in close proximity to cancer cells. This is called international radiation therapy or brachytherapy. Radiation therapy can be dangerous, yet it's still received by around 50% of cancer patients during the course of their treatment.
Excellent. All right, so let's look at this word proximity. If something is in the proximity of something else, what does that mean? Have you heard that word proximity? So proximity has to do with, oh, let's see, Hannah?
Does it mean the care?
Not quite. So proximity has to do with the closeness of something. So if something is in close proximity, that means they're very close. So proximity just has to do with distance. All right, and then on to our final page. Let's have, let's see, did I have Victoria? Would you like to read our first paragraph?
For security, almost every
Can you speak a little closer to the mic?
Almost every airport on the planet is now fitted with some form of X-ray security system that scans baggage to check for dangerous items. In the past few years, full body X-ray scans have also emerged as an additional security measure.
Excellent. And then our final paragraph, Hannah, can I have you read our final paragraph?
Revealing contrafelt art, perhaps one of the lesser known uses. X-rays are also used by art historians to detect whether or not a picture has been painted over an existing piece. In the past, X-rays films existing piece. In the past, X-rays films were the primary method of direction. However, they have since been replaced by more advanced methods such as CCD cameras.
Very good. So our last word to look at before our writing is emerge. In the first paragraph, it says, in the past few years, full body X-ray scans have also emerged. What do they mean, the word emerged? Emily?
Does it mean to add something?
Yeah, that they became present, so they're now available is another way we could look at it. Excellent, very good. So you see there's many uses to X-rays that all started from the research of the Wilhelm and then moving on to Marie Curie. So it was a joint team effort that created the X-ray that we know today and use in modern day technology. Here's a couple of the words that we looked at that I'd like for you to see if you can incorporate one or two of them into your writing. But let's take a look at our second writing assignment. Emily, can you read our questions for us?
Number 1, why do bones appear lighter in X-rays? Number 2, what are the 2 ways X-rays are used to help cancer patients? Number 3, have you ever had an X-ray? What was it for?
Excellent. So we're going to take the next 10 minutes, and I want you to see if you can answer those 3 questions. I'm going to paste them to the chat room now, and I'll leave up our vocabulary list so that you can incorporate 1 or 2 of those words. We'll come back at 18 after and look at some of the writing. Okay, thank you for the 3 that submitted theirs. I think I got maybe 1 more. All right, great. So we'll go ahead and take a look at these three. So Hannah, let's have you start us off with your reading or your writing.
I had an X-ray before it was to see if my bones. Wait, what the heck? Wait a minute. There's something wrong when I was submitting. I think I actually deleted a part. Wait, I think I accidentally deleted a part, so it looks like it was for to see if my bones and the body parts inside my body was okay.
And the body parts? You said, and the body parts of my body?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This can happen because and I also deleted a part in the next sentence. This can happen because even if we showed our body with black paper, the X-ray can still see through it. The bones appear lighter. Oh my gosh, I think I deleted another part over there. The bones appear lighter in X-rays because the bones in our body can be really hard for the X-ray to see.
Why don't you try this? Why don't you go ahead and try submitting it one more time, just so that we
Okay.
have the correct thing that you submitted. We'll move on to Grace right now. Grace, let's have you read yours.
Bones are lighter in X-rays because bones are deep in our skin, and it's hard for the X-ray to see. And I forgot a space after the period. That's my mistake.
Okay.
I did have an X-ray before when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I was in my school playground running to the cafeteria, but because it was a rainy day, I slipped and got one of my bones broken.
Oh, okay, great. All right, excellent. Great. All right, so I'm going to make one suggestion. I'm just going to add them to the end of your first sentence, just to see them. Would make a little bit easier to read. Now, in your last sentence, there's one additional comma that we need to add. Can you figure out where that would be?
Oh, is it be after cafeteria?
You got it. That is correct. Very good. Otherwise, everything else looks great. Wonderful. All right, Emily, let's have you read your sentence.
I think bones appear lighter in X-rays because the picture is taken by a camera. The bones are also inside people's body. Two ways X-rays help cancer patients is because they can use the machine to take the picture so they know what type of cancer they got. A second way why X-rays help cancer patients is by taking a photo of someone's bones if they got bone cancer, and they could also take a photo when the doctors think that a patient is recovered. I've had an X-ray before. It was for my arm.
All right, excellent. Sentence structure very good throughout. I'm going to make one suggestion. Instead of the word got, you said that so that they know what type of cancer they got. Can you think of another word that might work better that we can replace got with?
They have?
Yeah. Have is just a much, it's a better choice of word instead of got. Got tends to be a little too informal, almost slang. So I usually always try to use have in that case. And so that now we have, so they know what type of cancer they have. Perfect. Very good. Well written there. Let's see. I am going to throw in a Victoria's. Thank you for sending that one in. So let's take a look at what yours says, Victoria. Okay. Let me see if I can unmute you here. Okay, go ahead and read yours for us. Victoria, you want to read yours for us? Victoria? Okay, we must have lost contact there, but I'll go ahead and read. Bones appear lighter in X-rays because X-rays can pass through soft tissue, aka skin, but not pass through hard tissue, aka bones. Okay, so I like the use of aka. I'm going to show you how oftentimes we use aka. We're just going to put parentheses around it. And then it tends to work a little bit better. Sometimes you might actually see quotations, but oftentimes if I'm veering away from the sentence and I want you to focus on something, a punctuation such as a parentheses or quotations helps us define that a little bit stronger. Okay, and then we did get Hannah's. Let's see, maybe we can squeeze yours in, Hannah. I think we have enough time here. Okay, you want to go ahead and read yours for us, Hannah?
The bones become lighter because it is hard for the X-ray to see our bones deep into our skin. The X-ray can help patients with cancer because they can see what's and what's wrong with their body. I had an X-ray before. It was for to see if our bones and body parts are okay. This can happen even if we shield our body with black paper. Oh, and I think we don't need this can happen.
Okay, I'm going to get rid of the last sentence just because it's not a complete sentence. Now, let's look at your sentence after body. You said, I had an x-ray before common. It was to see if our bones and body parts were okay. Now, two things here. We don't really, you need to use a comma here. We actually need a different type of punctuation. Can you think of what punctuation would be better?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you have a couple of choices here. If you want to keep the sentences together, you can say, I had an x-ray before to see if our bones, or you can say, I had an x-ray before, period, it was to see. Which would you prefer?
The one with the period.
Okay, so we'll do period. We have a short sentence, and then we need a capital I for it was to see if our bones and body parts were okay. Now, were you referring to more than one person or just you?
More than one person are okay. Yeah, more than one person.
Okay, because what's a little confusing is that in the sentence right before you said that you had an x-ray, I would probably include the other person as well so that we can, the reader can understand who all you're talking about. So who is the other person?
Maybe I can change it to like my bones and body parts are okay.
Yeah, that would probably work unless you want to add someone else. Yeah, it was to see if my body parts were okay. Very good. Excellent. All right, and then we got one from Lucy. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at that one? And then we may still have a little bit of time to do our grammar exercise. Lucy, why don't you go ahead and read yours? Okay.
Bones appear lighter in X-rays because it took some time for the light to go through the bones. The X-rays can help people with cancer because the doctors can see what cancer they have in the X-ray picture. I have an X-ray before. I had it to see if my spine was in the right place.
All right, very good. Okay, so Lucy, let's take a look at a couple of your verb tenses. You start out by saying you're in the present tense. Bones appear. But then later you switch to a different tense. Can you make the correction on what word we need to change so that we stay in the same tense?
Take.
Yes. Bones appear lighter in x-rays because it takes some time. Very good. Now, in the last sentence, you said, I have had an x-ray before. So once again, in past tense. I had to see if my spine, oh, I'm sorry.
在一楼，他有时候就在那个
No, actually, no, that one's fine.
他要换衣服。
X-rays can help people. Yep, yeah, the rest of that one's fine. Very good. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for everyone for submitting your homework. During the last 10 minutes, we're going to do a little fun activity where you're just going to put the sentences in the proper order. If you take a look right here, these sentences do not sound correct. Your job is to put them in the correct order. Let's go ahead and take the next couple minutes and see if we can accomplish that task. Go ahead and keep the answers to yourself, and then I'll just call on people to give me the correct answer as we go through together. Don't write them in the chat room. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the correct answers. So, Emily, what did you get for number 1? Emily, number 1? I think we may have lost her. Let's see, Emily Lou, number 1?
Where do you come from?
Yes, you know, now it's very interesting that you say this. Okay, this is actually a very common phrase that we say. All the time people say, where do you come from? But what's wrong with that is that we're ending the sentence with a preposition of from. So technically, if we wanted to be correct, we should say, from where do you come? But honestly, no one says that. So I wrote down here the correct answer in the chat room. From where do you come is the correct answer, but you could also say, where do you come from, which is really what's more common for people to say. Okay, Gracie, what is, Grace, what is number 2?
Do you think English, do you think English is boring?
Very good. Do you think English is boring? And I put that one in the chat room as well. Hannah, what did you get for number 3?
Which one do you like best?
That is correct. All right, and then let's see, Jennifer, number 4.
What do they want to know?
That is correct. And that is the correct answer there. Let's see, Johnson, number 5. Johnson, number 5. Let's see.
Okay. Do you feel okay?
Excellent. Let me just make this a little bit larger here. Okay. And then Lucy, how about number 6?
Does she enjoy watching old films?
That is correct. I'm just typing these for you all to have. Shelley, number 7.
Does Louis work hard?
That is correct. And Victoria, number 8.
Do you want to start this course?
That is correct. And then let's try Emily once again. Emily, number 9.
Do you know the way to the library?
Very good. And then Emily Lou, number 10.
Do you want to come? Wait.
Very good.
Do you want to come with me?
Try that one more time. Do you want me to come with you?
Do you want me to come with you to?
Yeah, do you want me to come with you? Okay. All right, so that was a little quick fun exercise. Go ahead and give me your scores, and I'll add them to the PowerPoint of how you did out of the 10. And we're going to move on to our homework assignment for next week. So next week, I want you to think about a problem that people have. So you can think about, I'm sure you've heard many people complain about, oh, I don't like this, or I don't like how this works. I want you to think about a problem, and I want you to create an invention. Now, there's no right or wrong answers to your invention, but the invention, the invention should solve the problem that you've heard about. So how would you fix it? How does your invention fix the problem? This will be due next Friday, August 23rd. It'll be 400 words max. Just a quick recap of what we did today. We took a look at a lady by the name of Mary Curie, who was very influential in developing the X-rays and radiation. And then we also read about how X-rays are actually used today in modern technology. We had a chance to do a short exercise where we're putting words in their correct order, and then a couple writing assignments around our 2 readings. Any questions of anything that we've done for today? No? Okay, well, you all have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care.